Welcome to the Head Talk Show. I am your host, Erin McFarley. I am so happy and grateful that you all are here and tuning in wherever you're at. So whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, hello, welcome, great Sunday. And if you're watching the replay, please go ahead and just type in the chat replay so we can know, honey, when you are actually watching and where you're actually watching from. So I am super excited for this evening. And you know, guys, we always try to get some really great hosts on here who have experience just not in entrepreneurship but in life. Okay, you know, because life be life for all of us. And so I'm just super grateful for this beautiful young woman that I'm going to bring up, and I'm going to read her beautiful bio to you. And before I do that, I want to say I met her at a event from BB Judy. It was like a group of women, like we all like some type of way all connected. And long story short, her amongst other great women in business I met, and everyone is just flourishing and doing an amazing job. And I'm just super grateful that she even said yes to be on this show. All right, so I'm gonna bring her up, honey. I'm looking for the bio right now. So hold on one moment, please. So Miss Shavonda Nicole is known as the Jane of all trades, is a dynamic entrepreneur with her own hair and beard care line and a full service esthetician. She's also a event host, engaging in private engagements with her beautiful spirit and a passion for continuous learning, making her a serial student. She is such a powerhouse. And honey, I am so happy that you are all here to tune in to see her. Okay, so let's bring her to the stage. Let me take her off of mute, honey. How are you
Hi.
doing? Hey,
I'm
hey.
well. I'm well. That was a lot. That was a lot.
Yeah,
I'm blushing. I'm blushing.
you should, because I mean, why not? Right?
Why not? Why
Because I
not?
feel like, you know, you have to take your flowers as well as be okay and aware of the power that you actually hold.
Yes, absolutely. That's where I am in
And be
life right now,
comfortable with
living
it.
in the moment.
Yeah, like be okay with it. Because I think sometimes we can be like that on ourselves, and then hearing someone
Right.
else talk about it, you'd be like, oh, for real? Right? And sometimes you need that reminder of like, girlfriend, you
It's
it.
because we're constantly trying to get to that next level of success. We sometimes forget to celebrate where we are in that moment. So yes, I am super grateful to be here. I love you, girl, like for real. You know, sometimes you tell people, girl, I love you, girl, and you just be like, you know, you say it to get along, but I truly do. I respect you in business.
Thank
And you're
you.
right. Like this all started from a small group of women wanting to just be amongst each other and celebrate each other for wins, support each other in on their journeys. And it's crazy because one of my closest
Wait. I can't hear you. Hold on, Siobhan. Can you
a
hear me? Okay.
um
You had cut out. You had cut
yes,
out. No, your sound
yes,
had
I
cut.
would say one of my closest friends in life, in business. I met her in that same group. Most people know her as Makeup by V. She's Verlene on social media, but we met in that same group. And me and her, we have once a month, we meet, we get together, we talk business. We help each other in our business wherever we're lacking that month. That's where we pick up and say, okay, let's do this. So at our last month meeting, we decided we're not going to just pull up and drive to a location. I
Mm.
parked at her house. We walked. So we got a workout in. We walked to the location where we set up our computers, our laptops. And while we were sitting there working in business, she said, one day we should do a quick trip to just go eat and enjoy a day. I said, we can do next month. And she's like, okay. So long story short, I found us $40 flights to and from DC round trip. We spent about $100 total for room and board, and we just got back at 5:30 this morning,
I
and I
love
had an
that.
amazing time. So yeah, sometimes you have to get surround yourself with people who are not just willing to run through the business with you, but celebrate those moments, willing to pick you up from the triumphs. And that is my girl. So I'm people that I met in that group, I'm so grateful for y'all.
Yes, because everyone is just doing their thing. And I just love that because it's about like the sisterhood. Because we were talking before the show had started about like the ups and downs and being in business
That's
and
right.
people like, you know, the mental health aspect behind it. and then just having the right people around you when these situations are happening in life, because life is gonna life, baby. It's gonna do what it do, and you better put that seatbelt on and hold on, right? And be mentally prepared for it.
That's
But
right.
in moments when you're not mentally prepared for it, what do you think about your regards to mental health and your take on it as it
Right.
pertains
So
to business stuff?
for me, as I said, when it comes to entrepreneurship, the first thing that I think everybody, I don't care if you're at the top, midway through, just starting out, the first thing to understand is that we now live in a world where social media takes precedence on a lot of things in many people's lives. I won't say everybody's life.
Right.
So the key thing that I was just telling someone, there was some content that I was creating the other day with a content creator, and we were laughing about the bloopers, little things that was happening, all the edits that have to happen in between.
Yeah.
And in that moment we were laughing and joking about the bloopers and all of that, but what it gave me was the message in that was, this is the real social media right here, where we're going to not take out all the mess, take out all the hard stuff where we tripped and fell. We're going to remove that stuff. We're going to condense the video so that it looks like it was a perfect shot. That's not reality. And so many people are they're depressed, or they're giving up in their, and I'm talking to the business owners right now.
Oh,
but if this also applies to you with your 9 to 5, trust me, I'm not talking down, but right now I'm speaking to my business owners that
Your sound, your
same. And in that moment, you have to realize social media is virtual reality. And we all spend a lot of time in virtual reality, but the reality of that situation is that stuff isn't real.
But people can be delusional to the fact of it. And like you say, the whole depression thing, because I mean, they make so much money off of people being depressed and things of that nature. So the things that are on social media and just different things, I think it's also kind of meant to make people feel like, I was telling someone, people think by 25 you're supposed to have a Bugatti and all these different things, and like that's just so not what it is, because most entrepreneurs don't get cracking until their 40s. My mom did not get started in her business till she was past 40. Okay, I may have been doing things in business, but as far as the momentum and things of that nature, it's happened towards the latter versus when I was younger. So, I'd be telling people, don't get so started off and like bit out of shape about what someone else is doing and things like that. So like, and look, the dog is amen into it too.
The key piece to that, when I gave that backstory, is that just because you see it in glitz and glam on someone's social media page, just keep in mind that behind all of that glitz and glam, there's an edit happening. There's a failure that took place. Everything happened in between that they cut out. So you don't get to see that piece. So for me, I'm hoping that in tonight you get to see me, not me when you right now. Y'all see my edges aren't laid. I don't got no. I have hair care products. There is no edge tamer, nothing on my hair right now. I'm giving you me, the raw me living, because like I said, 5:30 this morning I landed. Today is my goddaughter's birthday. We had a pizza party. I had to take a quick nap, go lay down, get back up, go to that party. I have a new grandson. I'm also trying to spend time with him when I'm away. So we went to the pool. So this is me fresh out of all of that. And it's not about being glitz and glam, because right now I want to talk about the ugly. I don't want to, this ain't about being pretty. I want to get down to it. And I'm going to jump right into it if you don't mind, because many of you don't know me. If there are those of you here that know me, I just want to say thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for just being present for me, because the last few years for me have been hell. And when I say hell, I am not talking about.
Do you mind?
Yes, of course. Yeah. So 2021, we all went through COVID. COVID was a mess.
It was a mess.
2021, I lost my fiance to COVID. Very unexpected. It was not something that I was prepared to do. This was the person that for sure thought I would be spending the rest of my life with. The person who started to understand me, the person who was there with me while I was going through a depression and still decided to stick and stay. That's who left me. So I was in a very dark space for a long time, but as an entrepreneur, and it's very sad to say, whether it's me with my fiance, whether you lose a parent, a child, a friend, a job, regardless of what the loss is, we all grieve something.
Yeah,
People don't understand that when you lose something or someone, it's a grief process that you have to go through.
And everyone's is different. Everyone's is different. Everyone's is different. You cannot judge your grief from my grief. My grandma been gone 20 years. I still break down and cry to this day. Things,
and that's your process to get through, and you take your time by doing it. So for me, I had to then stop and figure out, because that dark place got really dark. The one thing I've always been good at is hiding pain since I was a child.
Now wait, I'm gonna put a pin in this real quick, because you are an African American woman just like me. And I talk about that in my first book, about especially the strong person being depressed, because people don't think strong people be depressed, especially the strong Black woman being depressed or having
We're not allowed.
We're not allowed to. So when you just said that you were able to put a cover on, almost a mask on, it is very easy. That's why so many Black women be undiagnosed, the angry Black woman or whatever the hell. That girl is depressed. She's going through things. So I just want to just say that as a Black woman, I'm glad that you said that, because so many Black women do not even want to admit that this is what they're going through, because they have to be so strong for the family or for whoever versus for the person themselves.
Of course.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So for me, while in those dark spaces, I still have to run a business. I have an e-commerce site where my products are ran. I can honestly tell you that was not me. I had nothing to do with the reason from 2021 till 2024 that business is still thriving. That was God and my supporters, because every single time an order, even now, I can't say came, every time an order comes through and I get an alert, I have no choice but to work. Get that order out, get that order processed. Sick in bed, that does not matter. We don't get PTO as a business owner. We don't get sick days. We can't call out. So when those orders are coming through, it still get to work. So for me, in a sense, I'm grateful to the point that was keeping my mind going, but not in the back end. I'm in a dark place. I'm going live on social media because I'm updating my family and friends from afar, because at the time that it happened, I wanted no one. And I still have a hard time with bringing people in my personal space, but I have a very hard thing against just letting anybody in. So I just need to keep everybody updated. And what I thought I was doing was just letting everybody know that I'm okay.
Yeah.
I had an outpour of people telling me, thank you. I needed that. I needed to hear that. This is helping me through grief. Or I'm going through, I lost my, and I'm like, whoa, that was this was not my plan. But that's yet again, God was working, and it had nothing to do with me. He was using me as a vessel
to help other people through their pain, to be a mirror to them for what they're going through. And people have to really realize, I'm glad that you said that, people have to realize the pain that you may be going through, not that it's on purpose, but it's to help someone else, in return helping yourself too, because talking about it and different things of that nature can help heal. And we were kind of talking about it. So tell me your take on people talking to someone. I say it's okay to sit on somebody's couch. How do you feel about that? People getting their mind out the gutter about going to a professional.
So here's two things that I want to say about that. Like I said, I was in a dark place. I was going to therapy before he passed. When he passed, I was doing regular mental health therapy and grief therapy. So much so that my therapist became my grief counselor all in one. And I am not opposed to any doctor at all, but a Black doctor for a Black woman in today's time,
that's needed.
It's critical.
It's so critical.
My OBGYN is a Black woman. My
Mm.
PCP is an African Black woman.
Mm.
My dentist is a Black woman. My therapist is a Jamaican descent Black woman.
Mm.
I'm not saying that others can't do it. What I am saying is you can't. It's like when we say as a mother, we're both mothers to young
Mhm.
boys. We're raising kings.
Mhm.
But at some point, some man has to step in and help do that. Because
Yes.
as much as we want to love on them and give them advice and what we as a woman would do, a
Yes.
woman can't teach a man how to be a man.
Correct. I always say that. That is so true.
I'm not saying that a white woman or a woman of color, she doesn't
But
have to be black,
historically
but a woman
speaking,
of color is important.
it is important, statistically speaking, when it comes to Black women with medicine and dealing with doctors. They do not believe that we feel pain the way that we feel it. They do not advocate for us. And having someone that looks like us, that has not just look like us, but have an understanding of that advocacy when they're going against their other counterparts and things of that nature in medicine, when it's dealing with a Black patient, is so critical. And I really love to hear that your doctors and everybody is of people of color. So I think that's awesome.
I can for sure share their information because so many people are looking for African American providers. But what I wanted to go back and say about therapy is that in the Black community, it's frowned upon for so many, not just that, oh, you're crazy. We're looked at as, oh, there's nothing wrong with you.
Right.
You don't go to therapy because a therapist can't fix you. They can help you fix yourself.
Correct.
Because at the end of the day, it's not their job to do this magic
There's
voodoo
no
potion. If you really want to take therapy serious, you have to be willing to do the work. And I thought I had my book. I have a notebook. And yes, we started with the beginning of the year. I sent a message to all of my close friends and I said, it was December 27th, right before Christmas. I mean, right after Christmas. And I said, before the new year, I'm big on vision boards. We're not doing that this year. We want to see the stuff that God is going to do for us. So we want to write it down. I'm big on Habakkuk. Habakkuk says, state the vision and make it plain. Simple. That's right. Don't go through magazine after magazine looking for the perfect photo. It ain't there. Take it right from here. Write out 300 things. You know how some people text me back. That's hard to do. It ain't hard for me because here we are still. We heading into May. I'm still working on my list of 300.
Right. Okay, so boom, real quick. So one of my old mentors back in the day, David Ivanitier, shout out to David Ivanitier, multimillionaire out of Texas. Anywho, he had us write down 300 goals, 300 things you wanted to do. And he gave us a certain amount of time to do them.
That's right.
And so many people could not do it. And when I tell you, when I did it, when I hit so many different things, and I don't care if it was me seeing a purple elephant, I hit so many things on that list. And I am so happy that you said that, because that is so powerful. And people don't even realize
it's a form of mental health. It's a form of your mental health. It's a form of your self-care. And I'm a firm believer in both. But that list of 300, so many were like, I can't do that by this time. I can't this, I can't that. I say, okay, so you start your list, get as far as you can. And every single week you go, I don't care how many times you thought you've looked over that list, keep going through it. So here I am going through my list just the other day. I'm going through my list. And every time I go through it, I'm putting strike throughs of things that I've already accomplished.
Yes.
When you take the time to be intentional about your life, one of the things at the top of my list was stop allowing calendar days to affect my mood. What that means is that in my state of depression, Valentine's Day, birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving. I'm not claiming that anymore. I sat in a dark place for too long to understand, yes, I'm going to have bad days. I am entitled to bad days, but there's a day only has 24 hours. Go through your 24 hours if you have to, but when that sun come up, it's a new day. Let's get past it. And I'm not saying that you need to, discredit your feelings, but you also have to figure out ways. Okay, I know that around this time I am going to be sad. One of the books that I'm reading right now is about Atomic Habits.
I love that book. That's a great book. That's such a great book.
He is speaking to me. I've been reading in every other chapter. I'm like, at me next time. At me next time. Next time, call me by name. Don't
It
tell my
brings you
business.
to the carpet. It calls you to the carpet. When you read that book, you could be like, what? I need to do what?
One of the things that he said was, you have to learn to stop saying, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. You gotta put dates and times on that. On Monday at 6:00, I'm going to the gym for 30 minutes. Not next week, I'm gonna go to the gym, because next week can be any day. When you purposely put it on that calendar, Monday, going to the gym for 30 minutes at 6 p.m., you're now dedicated to that schedule. So after you've gone on Monday, you want to go again on Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm going to the gym for 45 minutes to do the same. You know, you got to start creating habits and patterns, because we really do get off course. But what I wanted to say, I do want to go back to therapy. My therapist has helped me to save my own life, because sometimes we can get in our own way.
Yeah.
We can get in our own way, and we create these storms for ourselves. And when it starts to rain, it's everybody else's fault, or, you know, how we grew up. I grew up in Miami-Dade County.
Okay.
I did not grow up on South Beach. I did not grow up. Let's be clear.
Oh, I know my
South Beach and Miami is not the same. Whether you grow up in North Miami, South Miami, or anywhere in between. Miami is a different, it's fast paced. The culture is different. Right?
It's a little, I call it little New York. It's like a New York to me.
Girl.
It's such, my cousin's from Miami. It's like a New York. It's very fast paced. You got to be on.
So growing up in Miami, I've seen some things, I've been through some things, and I can honestly say, with everybody keeps saying write the book. The fear is still there in writing the book, because my fear is that I don't want to end up back in that dark place that I've been able to crawl myself out of. But I know I have to revisit those things. It's going to happen. But I said all of that to say, from childhood up until now, I'm constantly posting or writing it out, because I need to come back and see. Thank you, God, for answering the prayers that I've been praying since childhood. Thank you, God, for answering prayers that you knew I needed, because those things matter. But with my therapist, she would put me in a place by asking simple questions. Simple questions. One of my very first sessions, I was going on and I was talking to her, and the one question she asked me that caught me off guard was, growing up, how many healthy marriages did you see growing up? We as African Americans, and this ain't black woman, black man, I'm just gonna say a human race. That's a valid question to ask yourself. How many healthy marriages? And I'm not saying perfect marriages, because there is no perfect marriage. No, but growing up as a child, how many healthy marriages did you see growing up? And when I thought about that, it wasn't that many.
That's the truth. That's the truth, though. Because when you look at black, I remember my friend Jasmine, I'll never forget. And her mom and her daddy was married, and they was like successful, and they were like happy. And that was like an anomaly to me. I was like, wow, both your parents married together? Like, I didn't meet my daddy until I was 25. I'm 41.
So think about that. You have mothers raising children, or dads, or grandmothers, aunts.
Yeah.
So that she was asking me that question to see where the balance was. So because I said to her, sometimes I push off more masculine energy than I want to. Or when I'm dating these men, it comes off as, I told her, like dating he was my boyfriend at the time. Sometimes it's hard because I talk to him different, and she's asking these questions because I'm telling her I want to be different. I want to be softer. I want to be
but
submissive.
You know what? I've learned that what they call masculinity in women is really survival in women. This is the survivalness of a woman that you see coming out. It does come off masculine because she's so used to having to fight or to have to do, right? And that's what the her that they may feel like.
On the other side of that, what she explained and how she brought, the reason she asked me that question about healthy marriage is because here I am all throughout my life. I'm raised around a bunch of women. My grandmother, my grandfather wasn't there. My mom, my dad wasn't there. Like my aunts, there's no husbands around. Many households raising us, so you see a bunch of strong, able women.
That does a lot to the psyche of a woman, and even if there is a son being raised in that, and you know what I teach my son now? I tell him, I said, listen, baby, You're used to seeing me do so much. I say, but mommy does it because she has to. I said, I'll never want you to ever meet a woman and tell her that you want her to be like me and be
That's
strong
right.
because I'm doing this because I have to do it.
That's right.
I'm a single woman. If I was married, I wouldn't have to do and be and all these different things trying to do for us because I would be able to be relaxed in that femininity role to do so. So I really teach my 10-year-old that because he's getting older. You know, you got a son, you already know, right? And I like you said, you can't raise them to be a man. I can't raise him as as a man, but I can raise him to be a good person and
That's
have
right.
these different things. So let me ask you, I want to be able to respect your time because this is such a great conversation. Like I gotta have you on again for real. Because and this is what I'm saying. That's why I like this show because it brings so many different perspectives, different people, different life journeys and things like that. I want to ask you, because I asked you this question when we were first coming on before, for a person, because you made a transition in your career, right?
At 40.
And in making a transition into your career, into the things that you're doing right now, what do you say to the person, male or female, who their mind's in the gutter about possibly making a leap or what that looks like and what that feels like? What would you just tell them as encouragement now that you've done it, right? And now that you're in it, right? Because it's different from when you first started. So that honeymoon phase sometimes goes away, okay? And so with the honeymoon phase dwindling, because this is the reality of entrepreneurship, like let's keep it a bean. What do you say to that person?
So the good day, that like I said, the good, bad, and indifferent is that you, as an entrepreneur, I'll speak from a sales and service standpoint. Whether you have an e-commerce business or you see clients physically every, that's how you make your money. You're going to have good days. You're going to have good seasons. You're going to have good quarters. But that's not the perfect world. You might have a whole month where you make no money. So that's where you got to learn to budget and save. You're going to have those months where you have good, you're going to see good. You have to learn how to take some, put some back. But in the midst of that, the mental health piece is just because you're not getting it at that moment doesn't mean you won't get it.
Hello.
I've been in business since 2017. And I am by far not where I want to be in business. But as an entrepreneur that has products, now I have hair care products, I have beard care products. And at the age of 40, I decided to go back to school to become an esthetician. Walked away from a really good job, security, completely walked away because at the end of the day, I was sacrificing my brand because I had to be at work. And I had to make a decision. And it was a scary decision to make because, yes, I'm going from every 2 weeks, I'm guaranteed some money to if I don't do it, I don't get it.
You don't get it.
So I had to condition myself even on the days where I didn't want to be. Right now, I am 100% entrepreneur, 100% walked away from my job. I do it all with my hands. Literally, my hands that's where my money is. If I don't get up and do it, I don't make money.
Right.
So the thought behind it is, even in your lazy spirit, especially if you procrastinate, listen, please understand. I have lost so much money by procrastinating. Oh, I can do it later. You do not have that leeway as an entrepreneur anymore. You have to get up.
I guess what is that? Like, what even is that? You can't even think like that.
No, you have to get up and get out even when you don't want to. But the one thing that I will honestly say is, even when it looks like it's a bad moment, take that and flip it. Because like I said, at 40, I decided to go back to school. And imagine being a 40-year-old sitting in a beauty school. I went to Aveda. Aveda is a very great school.
Yeah, my cousin went. That's a great school.
Sitting in a classroom with 19, 20, 21-year-olds, 30-year-olds with this passion to, this is what I'm going to do, X, Y, and Z. Plenty of days I sat in that class saying, maybe I'm too old for this. Maybe I'm too, no, you're not.
No.
I'm just getting started. You know why? Because there's something about hitting that 35 mark, male or female. You start to think differently. You start to
Yes.
move differently. You start to hit your circle changes. And this is what I wanted to say from the beginning when you initially asked me about business. I laugh about it, I brag about it, but I'm always serious even when I joke that most of my friends, almost all of my friends make a lot more money than me. I don't just go out looking for people that are a lot more successful than me. God sends me who I need, but I purposely make sure my circle is set that way for two reasons. I'm really worried about who coming to me begging for money because they already have it. They know I ain't coming to them begging them for money. I'm typically gonna have it. But there's two things that happen. They know that if they ever need me, I'm present. I know if I need them, we're present. But let's move the money piece aside. When you hang out with people that have something to lose, it's move
a different conversation. It's a different.
They move different. So it's going to force you to do the same because it's the same in opposite. If two people are broke and you come in and you got money, keep hanging out with them.
You can be broke too. Birds of a feather really do flock together. Like the proximity is everything. Proximity is everything. Like put yourself in circles that you're not the big fish. There's other big fishes around where you
always be willing to be taught. You always have to be willing to. I am a serial entrepreneur, but I want to sit in the rooms with somebody that can teach me something. Yes, I absolutely love public speaking. I can sit and we can talk mental health for days. I'm going to say before we end this live, if you're going through grief, you're going through depression, you're going through hard times, my face doesn't always come off as the nicest person, but I promise you, I am a safe space. I am a safe space. You have no clue how many people reach out to me to ask me, how did you get through this? Or how would you handle this situation? Or how did you get through this? Because I'm not afraid to say I am the product of a mother that battled drug addiction. I am the product of a father that spent most of his life in a prison cell. My grandmother raised me. I have the story that if I told that story, many would ask two questions. How are you still here? And how did you get to where you are now? Because I have the excuse. I'm that person that could use the excuse of, but look what I came from.
Look where I came from. Look where I was. You can't do that.
It's about choices. You have to always choose the good in yourself. Always choose the good in your business, regardless of what. Always be teachable. Always surround yourself with people that are willing to help you pull you out of something, not pull you down. Because if you're constantly pouring in and nobody is pouring back, you're draining your cup and you're not refilling your cup. That scale has to be an even balance, because the mental health piece of it is this. I would be on social media. I would be on Facebook Live or posting videos and pictures. And I look my makeup is done, my hair is done. Y'all see me on vacations, all these beautiful places. When that man passed away from 2021 up until last year, I spent over $10,000 traveling. And I had a great time doing it. But you know what I was doing? I was running.
Yeah.
I was running.
Running from the emotion of, everything. Yeah.
I was running from everything. And that did not help me. No. I had to really sit myself down and stop myself. And I do want to go back to that list of 300, because what I want you guys to understand is this. That list does not have to be this big. I need to buy a house. I need to get married. Your list of 300 needs to be something as simple as, I want to wake up tomorrow and take ashwagandha without having to take an antidepressant. I want my son to be productive in school. I want to make sure my son is healthy. I want to make sure that every day I wake up, I can put gas in my car. I'm only at 4 things that I've already put.
It's crazy how people will cancel themselves out and hear the number 300 and feel like that's too much. But you live 365 days, Lord willing, right? How is that too much? Like, think of those things. And it's so, once you do it, it's like, okay. And like you say, you go back. I promise you, when I first did that, the first time, and my mentor was like, y'all need to write down. He gave us like 3 days. And he was like,
keep your list?
Girl, this has been a few years ago, so I need to redo the list. because I was knocking things off the list, like very simple, even to the point where let me tell you, even to the point where I worked it out that I was going to meet him and be at his house and he get my book. Not only did I meet him, we went to his house for all the top leaders, and not only gave him one book, he asked for 2 more copies to give to other people. You see what I'm saying? So just like being able to just
one of the things on my list is I want to graduate with the girls that I came in with. You know, I'm big on like carry them with you. Yeah. I want to graduate with the girls I came in with. I want to place myself in a really good position for work. I want to be a traveling esthetician. That's what I wrote, right? Let's go back to.
I can't say
certain things. I can't say certain things, but I went from I don't know how I'm going to do this to I work in a med spa now, not just a regular day spa. I work in a med spa. God does things. God does things. Let me tell you. I wanted to take a microneedling class. The girl told me $1,150 to take her microneedling class. Keep in mind, I'm a PMU, a permanent makeup artist. I can do permanent makeup. Okay. I'm trained for that. Okay. Microneedling should be easier, but I'm like, okay, she said $1,150. I'm not judging her price. I'll see if I can find it elsewhere because right now I gotta think about the money I need to save because I'm 100% entrepreneur now. I get to this med spa, we start talking and she's asking me, what do you want to do? I'm telling her all the things I want to do. Do you want to know that I learned microneedling in less than 30 minutes last week? You want to know how much I paid to do it?
How much?
$0.
Ooh, see
$0. So now I can add microneedling as a service that I can provide without paying that. So this is where I'm saying don't discredit yourself because I could have given up when that girl told me $1,150. The easiest thing I could have said is I can't afford that. I'm gonna just
and what I love too is you left a very good job to go pursue your purpose and what you're doing, and you just create this beautiful thing. So let me ask you this. I want to respect your time. How can people get in contact with you to have your services rendered for esthetician, from your hair products to your beard oils? How can they purchase and get an appointment?
Yeah, so I would highly recommend you follow me on social media. On Instagram, it's A like Apple, E like Echo _ skin SKNCARE. So it's AE _ skincare without the I. My website is alluringessence.com. But from my Instagram, everything is pinned there where you can book my services directly to schedule with me. And like I said, if it's just you have questions about business, or you're in a rut in yours, reach out to me. Like, I don't want people to just go to my website to buy products or, look around, go into my booking site and see what products I offer, because you might not even understand why a back facial is beneficial to you. Why do I need a back facial? There are certain services that are offered. If you have questions about them, let me know. But it's not for me just about making the money. It's building the relationship, because what you may not understand is some of your best relationships are with your hairstylist, your nail tech, your esthetician. It's because we offer therapy when you're in our space.
You also provide mobile services too, you mentioned, yes, right?
I do. Yes, I am a traveling esthetician. And right now, why I brought that up as a traveling esthetician is because I started out in business not knowing how much money I was going to make. But because I promote that I'm a traveling esthetician, and somebody who knows me, because I hosted an event for them. I simply hosted an event for them. They put me in contact with somebody who I can't talk about this person. I'm gonna get my money. I don't need to brag about it. I just gotta keep working, because I need them to tell their friends about it, and they tell their friends. That's what entrepreneurship can get you. Bet on yourself.
Bet on yourself. I love it. Edgewater, thank you so much for just coming on, because I told y'all she was honey. Y'all make sure y'all follow her. hire her for, she's an event host, amongst other things, serial entrepreneur, there's nothing that she cannot do. So I am so grateful for you for coming on and spending time with me. And I'm gonna go ahead and take you off, but I appreciate you. And I'm gonna be reaching out to you later on.
And work on that list of 300, girl.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my list of 300 again, because I ain't gonna lie, during that season of my life, this is during the pandemic, things really like was popular, you know, like I ain't like, yes, things were happening, but like financially wise, it was popping for me, you know, and just in different blessings and other ways. So I believe I'm gonna go ahead and do that again. I'm gonna actually have my 10-year-old do it as well. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I've enjoyed this time and I've enjoyed this space. Definitely reach out. Let me know how I can be of assistance to continue helping you. And when I say I love you, I do mean I love you
too. I love you too. Thank you. I'm like super honored. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. So I am so grateful for her. Like, oh my gosh, we had a great conversation. Guys, make sure you go follow her. I've kept her Instagram and website at the bottom. So guys, catch me next week. I have another fabulous guest, okay, as per usual. So again, thank you so much for catching me, and also catch me tomorrow on the Women Talk radio show. If you are in the local area, it's on 99.1 FM. You can catch us in your car, or if you are anywhere else in the world, it's at www.99jamstheberg.com, honey. Okay. So thank you so much. And you guys have a great evening. Bye.